It seems like only yesterday we were here for Super Bowl 52 and now back for the road to the Super Bowl here in the Twin Cities at U.S. Bank Stadium. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38.
He's coming. We got double up. 20. Hey, bye.
To throw again is Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, Falcons.
Ready, blue 80, white 25.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Vikings' 13-yard line.
Ready, white 25.
Big stop, G. Big
White.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley there to make the grab. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Vikings nothing.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready? White 25. Even. Check 15.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of 2 there. Second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. From the gun, Winston. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Jameis to throw it. Setting up the screen for Cook. And I think the ball's out. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never... ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emerson Griffin. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's second and 20. Now Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Well, you were backed up into a second and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up third and 2.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it. Pick up first.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
51, Sub! 58! 51, Sub!
After the interception, here's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones there to make the grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Winston. He's got it to Williams. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check 45 tonight.
I'm on. You better bring it. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Mike, 45.
Hey, let's get it for person.
Here I come. Echo. Check.
Let's go.
Throwing on second down. Winston. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Kill.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Check 3. Pick the edge.
Come. Check. 21.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Yeah. You don't want none. Hey, check 20.
Hey, stop. Let's go.
Patch it.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Jameis now on first down. And Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Mike's 50. You remember me?
To throw on 2nd and 6. Ryan, he sets to fire deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Now, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tack McKinley. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third.
Pick it up. Watch twins, follow.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. This is taken at the 10. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, that'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, we got to get to the ball. Come on. Hey, watch it.
Let's go.
They run it again with Cook.
It's run, fellas. It's run.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run, Cook. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
I'm coming after you. Wait.
Let's convert.
Tighten up.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Hey, 5-0.
On 3rd down, Winston going deep for Dig, and that's caught inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down now. It's Edwards. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
It's 3rd and 1.
Wait. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Mike 50.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 58. Slam. General West. Alert 3.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Alert flare. 11.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Freeman again. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Hey, flag 25!
50's the mic, 50's the mic. And let's get in that hole. Kill.
They'll run on first down. Freeman, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Get off the field. Joker.
Gun.
Ringo.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Freeman. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
22. 51. Sub. No.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They start the drive with Cook. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Winston. It's complete to Diggs. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance And how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead?
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
This complete to Jones. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. On 1st and 10, Winston. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
At the 31-yard line. Tonight's final score.
And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.